Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about the secret weapons that writers and speakers use to make language pop. We're talking about figures of speech, the tools that make words beautiful, powerful, and totally unforgettable.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with a simple question. Why don't we just say what we mean? If someone is brave, why not just say, he is brave? Why bother with all the fancy language?
Well, because plain language can be kind of flat, right? Language isn't just about sharing information. It's about making someone feel something. And to do that, to express really deep emotion, we need something more.
That's where these ornaments come in. It's just like how we wear accessories to spice up an outfit. These little additions can completely change the impact of what we're saying.
Think about this beautiful Indian lullaby. A mother sings to her child, "You are my moon, you are my sun." Now, she's not just listing adjectives. No way. She's reaching for the biggest thing she can think of, the sun and the moon, to show how huge her love is. That feeling is just too big for plain words. And that is the heart of what this is all about.
All right, let's dive into the nitty-gritty. We're going to start with probably the most common category there is, the art of comparison.
First up, we've got the metaphor. Now, a metaphor is a really direct, punchy comparison. It doesn't mess around. It says one thing is another thing. It's not saying it's like it, it's saying it is it, period.
And then you have the simile, which is basically the metaphor's close cousin. It does the same job, comparing two different things, but it's a little less direct. It always gives you a heads up by using the words like or as.
Okay, look at this. This makes the difference super clear. On one side, he was a lion in the battle. That's the metaphor. Pow! It's a direct statement. On the other, he fought like a lion. That's the simile. See the difference? Both get the point across. He was brave. But that metaphor, it's just so much more powerful, right? It creates this intense image.
All right, moving on. Figures of speech aren't just about painting pictures with meaning. They can also create, well, music with words. It's all about how things sound.
So there's a whole family of these sound devices. The big three you'll run into are alliteration, consonants, and assonance. They all have to do with repeating sounds, but the trick is knowing which sound is being repeated and where in the word it's happening.
And this chart lays it out so nicely. So look at alliteration. It's pretty strict. It's got to be a consonant sound, and it's got to be at the beginning of the word, like Peter Piper picked. Now, consonants is also about consonants, but it's way more relaxed. The sound can be anywhere. Check out the K sound in Mike Likes His New Bike. Then you have assonance, which totally changes the game. It's all about repeating vowel sounds.
And then, of course, there's the most fun sound device of all, onomatopoeia. Come on, it's just a word that phonetically imitates a sound. Think buzz, crash, hiss. The word is the sound it describes. Simple as that.
Okay, now we get to the really fun stuff. Let's talk about the magic of imagination, the devices that bend the rules of reality to create these incredible, unforgettable mental images.
First up is personification. This is where you literally breathe life into things that aren't alive. You give human feelings, actions, or qualities to things like a chair, the wind, or even an idea like justice.
So, check out this line. From graves forgotten, stretch their dusty hands. Whoa! Graves don't have hands, right? But by personifying them, the author creates this powerful, kind of creepy image of the past literally reaching out to you, refusing to be forgotten.
And then there's hyperbole. This is just a fancy word for massive exaggeration. When you say you're so hungry you could eat a horse, you're not meant to take it literally. It's all about making a point with a little bit of drama.
So, when the poet William Wordsworth wrote 10,000 saw I at a glance about a bunch of daffodils, do you really think he sat there and counted them? No way. He was using hyperbole to get across that feeling of being completely blown away by this massive, endless field of flowers. Okay, so we've looked at comparisons, sound, and imagination. But you might be thinking, so what? Why does any of this matter if I'm not writing a poem? And that's a great question.
Well, the thing is, these aren't just some dusty old rules for poets.
They are literally everywhere. I'm talking song lyrics, movie dialogue, those advertising slogans that get stuck in your head. You even use them in your everyday conversations. Heck, I've been using them throughout this whole explainer.
At the end of the day, these are the tools that we all use, consciously or not, to make our words matter.
They help us say the things that are hard to say, they give our thoughts a certain rhythm, and they make our ideas memorable.
So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. Now that you know what to look for, what ornaments are you going to notice in language today? Really listen to that song you love, or pay attention to that next commercial. I bet you'll be surprised to find that the language shaping your world is way more poetic than you ever realized.